right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's training. And hi there, Rashmikant, Lamia, Valentino, Anna Maria. I think it's Anna or Anna Maria. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Great. So thank you for joining us today. And today's training, I'm sure before we could start, you all went through this house rules just to ensure that you get the most out of today's session. And if you haven't, then you can quickly go through this. If you guys, I can see a few of you all, like Daivik, Nexus, Deepa. Please join audio so that you can hear us. They won't be they won't be able to hear us anyway now because they've not joined audio. So great. And today is a very exciting day today. Before we can begin, right? There's something special that I'd like all of us to do today because there's something special today. Now, what is that something special today? You see the person on screen who is drinking water is none other than our Mr. Simon, right? It's his 26th birthday today. So can we all celebrate together and wish Simon a very, very happy birthday today?
Thank you so much, guys.
It's a
Thank
great
you, thank
day.
you, thank you.
It's been 4 years since knowing Simon. And I remember years back, we were celebrating your birthday here in Dubai. Here, right here. So wish you a very, very happy birthday. A
Thank
lot
you,
of
guys.
wishes pouring in for you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I mean, it's so special that in the night I'm having a party for friends and family, and before that I get to see all of you guys, on the Zoom call. It's really, really a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Velson. Thank you, everybody. So many people. Thank you so much for coming for today's training, and thank you for your wishes. Thanks, Hemanth.
My pleasure, bro. And it's so awesome that at this young age you've been able to help thousands and thousands of people with a lot of things and discover their true passion, true purpose, giving them good health, good finances, and good peace of mind. Wow, that's an amazing thing. And I believe that all of us, we are benefactors of your training and your energy and your support all this while. So thank you so much for all that you've done for all these years. So with that, I'm sure the whole day and coming forward, you'll be being covered with a lot of love and blessings and a lot of prosperity in the coming days. And guys, please don't hesitate to go out there on the chat and put share Simon a happy birthday note. And at the same time, you can message him privately on Facebook, WhatsApp, wherever you can reach him and just throw out all your love and wishes for Simon, right? Great. So with that, let's begin today's session. Like I told you, today's session is going to be one of the important sessions in your Enagic business. It could be you're just starting out, you're new, you were introduced to Enagic, or it could be that you were you have been introduced by someone here, your first time having a look at it, a training of Enagic. And also for those of you all who are already in the tribe, you've attended these sessions in the past. This could be, a refresher for you, energy booster for you. So I just want to give you a pretext before we can begin about what this session or what today's training is all about. Today's training, two sessions that we are going to do back to back, is actually session, a part of a training called the Essential Kangen Workshop, which was originally designed by none other than Mr. Sam Sia himself. And this was the training that is the secret to the success of his career, his business in Malaysia, in India, Dubai, and many, many top leaders, including ourselves. We attribute our majority of our success to the content that we received from this training. So my intention for all of you today is to take this information, have an open mind so that you can receive all of the information and be willing to apply this in your business, in your career, right? And also be willing to teach this to your team members. So if you all agree to be willing to be open to accept and apply, please give me a one on the chat, or agree, one or agree. Thank you. Great. So without further ado, right, I want to kickstart the first session for today. It's a power pack session, and many of you all will have questions in your mind that is the product that I am going to promote, is it the best? Does it have competition? Are there any other similar products out there in the market? And how many of you all you want more clarity on the product itself and why Enagic has no competition? If you want clarity on that, please give me a yes on the chat. YES, yes. You want clarity? Great. So to provide that clarity and to basically show you guys and educate you on why Enagic has no competition, we are our very own birthday boy, right? And it's just not enough for me to say birthday boy, but then I just want to share that Simon is someone who used to be once upon a time a user of another imitator or another machine similar to Enagic is what they claim. And it's been 4.5 years, close to 5 years now that he is using the Kangen machine. And no better than Simon, who can actually explain why Enagic is the best, right? So with all energy, let's bring out Simon and have him share why Enagic has no competition. Over to you, Simon.
All right. Thank you, Hemanth. Thank you, guys. And hi, everybody. If it's possible, right, you can turn on your camera if it's convenient for you, because we would like to see your face. We would like to know who we are talking to. I think less than half of the participants today have their camera on, if it's possible, right? Everybody like, okay, I see Gopal Kumar, Sunil, just turn your cameras on. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you, Alroy. All you guys have the camera on. Deepa. Okay, cool. So yes, thank you so much for the wishes. And a lot of people say, hey, yeah, today is your birthday. How come you still have all these Zoom trainings? Because to me, this is work, but I really enjoy doing this so much. I really enjoy doing all these trainings because I know for a fact that from the experience and knowledge I have on this business and the product, and if I'm able to help my team, which is all of you guys, to get more clarity on the business, get more clarity on the product, and you guys will grow bigger and prosper more, that makes me feel, like on top of the world. That's why I really enjoy doing all these trainings. And just to give you a little bit of background, for those of you who are new, if you're attending a training like this by us for the very first time, can you give me a number 2 in the chat box if you are absolutely completely new? If you're attending this training for the very first time. Let me see. All right, 4 new people. Are there more people? All right, more. Okay. So the thing is this, today we have quite a good number of people onto this training. So I'm not sure what is your level of comprehension or clarity on our product. But regardless, you may have seen our product demo. You may have not have seen. Maybe your friend have shared with you a video, whatever it is, right? Today, my job here is to share with you why this machine that I've been using since 2014, this was 6 years plus ago, and why in 2016 I decided not to just be a user and to also pursue this as a full-time business because of the value that I got from this machine, right? It is life-changing for me, and I hope the information that I'm going to share today is going to change a lot of you guys' perspective and comprehension on the machine. As Hemanth said, I was using a competitor's machines before. Basically, I had a Korean water ionizer for 3 years plus, since 2010, 3 years to 4 years. And we were educated, my family, that ionized water is good for health. So when I bought my Kangen machine, I already knew that ionized water was good for health. But I told the person that sold me the machine, I said, why do I need to buy this $4,000 product if I already have a machine in my kitchen that has also all these buttons, 9.5, 8.5, beauty water, whatever. And same thing, acid water, alkaline water. So what is the difference? Why should I spend so much more? So he said, This is the only machine that is medically certified. But better than that, let me come to your house and do a quick little demo. So I'm like, okay, I was very open-minded because he's a very good friend of mine. In fact, he's my upline now in Enagic, doing very well. He came and tested the machine for me. And if for those of you who have seen the Kangen demo before, when you put in the antioxidant meter, the ORP meter, the Kangen water will always show a -4 to 500, right? Meaning the water is highly antioxidant, really good for the body. So I was like, okay, cool. Yours is very powerful. Let's see mine. So we collected some fresh water from our machine, put in the antioxidant meter. It showed a positive, and that was fresh. It was oxidized already. So I was like, why? Second thing is the pH tester, when you put the droplets. I don't know, some of you may have seen the demo before, right? The droplets, if it's alkaline, the droplets will turn to a purple color. So Kangen turned to a purple as usual. Mine was green color. So I was drinking regular filtered water for I don't know how many years, but it was claimed to be a water ionizer. So based on just that simple demo, my family decided to pick up the machine, and I've been using it. And really, thanks to the machine, my mom was suffering from asthma since the day she gave birth to me, which is 26 years ago. And medication, she always had that puff in her handbag. It was always taking things just to suppress the symptoms. And sometimes in the midnight, when she starts to, we call it wheezing, when she starts to breathe, and you can hear she has trouble breathing, there's a wheezing sound. Sometimes we have to get her to the hospital. She had to go on an oxygen. And this was like on and off for the last 20 odd years. So it's been quite troublesome to deal with that kind of condition. And really, thanks to the water, 6 months after drinking the water, my mom could actually start going on the treadmill to work out, because she never was able really to work out. You know, you want to jog on the treadmill, but as you are jogging, the asthma comes and she has to stop. So 6 months drinking the water, she can really start to jog. And since then, 2014, touch wood, she never had an asthma attack since 2014. And I'm saying this not as a medical claim. We never claim that the water can cure any disease or any ailments, but this is what happened to my family. And that's what really got me so convinced that the quality of this water is really able to give us a better body and perform much better. So for me to deliver my part of today's presentation, which is Enagic has no competition, I would love to share my slides with you, because from these slides, you would really learn. I'm just gonna share about 15 reasons why our machine is, number one, the best in the market. For those of you who are looking for the best product for yourself and the best product to also sell, because you don't want to be selling a product that is generic on the middle segment, right? That you have a lot of competitors. It's either you go extremely cheap, where you're so cheap people just have to buy, or you go premium. I always prefer to go premium, because premium, you deal with premium clients. You don't deal with the masses. And here in Enagic, later Hema will go into the business side. There is a good reason why you want to deal with premium products. There's always a good reason. All right. So let me start my presentation here, which is this slide that we have prepared for you. It's called 15 Reasons Why Enagic Has No Competition. If you see my slides, can you give me a thumbs up? You can see my slides? All right, cool. So if you have any questions, right? If you have any questions, don't worry. Pay attention to the slide, because the chances are, as I go through the presentation, right, your questions will be answered along the way. All right, it will be answered along the way. So just hang tight. Hold on, my Siri is. Okay, hold on one second. Just give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So Enagic has no competition. Now, before we talk about competition, okay, we must first talk about the categories of competition. So when you decide to be part of this business, the first thing that you want to learn is what other machines out there are in the market, what other products out there in the market. So when you sell, you become a professional, because people only buy from people that knows what they're talking about, right? If you go to a client and the client asks you a question and you're unable to answer in a professional way, they lose credibility in you. So we must know at least the fundamentals of the competition. So what are the 4 categories? 4 types right here. The first type is called non-machine related, nothing to do with machine. And then we have water filters. We have something called alkaline water filters. and then other water ionizers. I'll go one by one. So these are all there is in the market. So this is what I call non-machine related. If you have seen some of these products before in a pharmacy or some of your friends are selling it, kindly give me a number one in the chat box. All these nano flasks, alkaline droplets, all these little tumblers you see on the bottom right. So these are what we call non-machine related. They make something called alkaline water, but it's not a machine. It is pills, flasks, droplets, tumbler. So what happens is these things, they themselves is a mineral additive. Mineral additive. You add it into normal water and the water becomes alkaline. Why? Because all these things have high concentration of alkaline minerals. I'm not saying they're not good. A lot of people use it, especially people that have cancer or whatever. They want a short-term solution. People buy stuff like this. But this is not a long-term solution. Why? All these things are artificially made, all these additives, and you don't know where all these things are coming from, which factory made it. Is it safe for your kidneys, for your body long-term? Because you're adding something artificial into your water and consuming it on a daily basis. So it's definitely, I would not recommend for long-term usage. And it's also not exactly a cheap solution. When you buy it every day, it's going to add up. So all this is very simple. It's alkaline, but the water itself is not alkaline. It is the minerals that is alkaline, and there is no antioxidants in all these products. And then comes the second, the second one, which is water filters. So I'm pretty sure some of my friends here from Dubai, you have people from India, Malaysia, some parts of Europe. Most homes have some form of water filters, right? My home always have water filters since day one. Now, water filters are not our competition. In fact, every time I install a machine, or you ask the person that sold you the machine, every time I install a machine, I would also install a simple water filter. Why? Because for the Kangen machine to work, you need clean, drinkable water coming in to the Kangen machine. So the Kangen machine is not a water filter. Although we have our own filter, but normally we do recommend that people have a simple filter before the water enters into the Kangen machine. So water filters are actually complementary products to us. They are not competition. Because water filter just make dirty water clean. It doesn't make normal water healthy. Big difference, right? You can make dirty water clean, but clean water does not mean it's healthy. Later we'll go into that. What exactly is clean water but not healthy? And here we have the third category, alkaline water filters. So the alkaline water filters, they're pretty similar with the first type, the non-machine related, except this one, they package it, they box it up. Why do I say it's similar? Because the water that comes out, what happens is the water comes from your tap or wherever, it goes through mineral sticks, 6 to 8 mineral sticks, where the water takes all the additives from the minerals, from the filters, and it comes out into your glass of water. So basically, there's no ionization, there is no electricity, there's no electrolysis, nothing. It's just putting the water inside, going through mineral filters, and come out the water. So it's very similar with the first type, except this is more expensive and it's packaged in a box, no electricity. All right. Now, coming to the number 4, which is other water ionizers. So what is Enagic? What is the Kangen machine? Basically, the technology is water ionizers. But water ionizers, there's so many types. And Enagic is the number 1 company in Japan, in the entire world for water ionizer. But of course, there are other companies out there that wants to do similar machines. So that is what we are doing today. So what should you do when you meet a competitor's machine? But let me tell you this. I would say less than 5% of the market. I wouldn't say 5%. Less than 5% of the people you will meet either have an ionizer or have used an ionizer before, much lesser than 5%, right? So what happens when you come to a certain point where the person owns a water ionizer or used to own a water ionizer? What do? A lot of people will start to say stuff like, oh, it's no good, it's cheap, it's bad quality. So when people start to say all this, what happens to the prospect, your customer? They will feel offended, right? I actually spend money to buy this product, right? And you're saying it's cheap, it's no good, means that you're saying that I made a wrong purchasing decision. So what you should really do is to really compliment them that they made a good decision to own a water ionizer, because the fact that they own a water ionizer means what? They are already convinced on the technology. If I use an iPhone, I'm already convinced that a smartphone is good for me. It's just which brand, for example, right? So they're already convinced of the technology. We just have to convince them that why Enagic is number one. So what should you do? Very simple. If you've seen the demo or somebody have done the demo for you before, just do a simple demo in front of them and compare your water, Kangen water, and their water. 9 out of 10 times, Kangen water will come up superior. Why do I say 9 out of 10 times? Because there is still that 10% chance that their machine is brand new and the water is still okay. So if they feel their water is still okay, they don't feel the need to change. All right? But 9 out of 10 times, our water beats the crap out of all their waters. Antioxidant, alkaline, everything will beat them. So we do a simple demo. So I'm going to go into the 15 reasons why Enagic is number one, and why some of you who is already using the Kangen machine here, can you give me a I if you're using the Kangen machine in the chat box? Just type an I. iPhone I. I'm using a Kangen machine. So for those who are already using it, let me share with you why you have made the right decision. And for some of you who are still thinking about it, why you will be making the best decision. And some of you who are thinking about the business, why this machine is the best product for you to sell. There's a big reason behind it. Number one, which is the strongest reason, we are the only one with ISO 13485. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with ISO, International Standards Organization. Now, ISO, there are many types, right? 9001, 14001, blah, blah, blah. So many ISOs. But specifically, ISO 13485 is only issued to medical device manufacturers. So if you go to a hospital, you see all these CT scans, MRIs, heart rate monitor machines. All these companies, the medical bed, all these companies that manufactures these have a ISO 13485. If not, they cannot enter a hospital. As simple as that, right? I know this very well because my dad used to be in procurement for medical equipments for a hospital in Malaysia. That was his project. So when I show him ISO 13485, he was convinced because he knows it's not easy to get this kind of certificate, especially if you're talking about a domestic product like a Kangen machine. It is the only one that has this certificate that certifies our factory in Osaka, Japan. That's where our machines are made. Design, manufacture, sales, servicing, and distribution of electrolysis water generator for medical use. Means you can put this machine in a hospital. That's how good our manufacturing standards are, medical grade. So whenever you're using the machine, you have a peace of mind that this machine has medical certification. You're drinking out of the best machine in the market, right? And when you put this machine in other people's homes, you'll also have a peace of mind that you're putting the best machine in their home, all right? And later on, you'll find out why, if you were to use a cheaper machine, what are the implications? It's crazy, right? Later you'll find out why. So that's number one, medical certificate. Number two, Gold Seal Award from WQA. So WQA stands for Water Quality Association, right? Water Quality Association. So in the US, some of you have heard, not some of you, I'm sure all of you would have heard of something called FDA, right? Food and Drug Administration. So all the food, all the drinks, everything have to have FDA certificate. For water machine, the number one authority in the US is WQA. All water machines have to go through WQA. Now, Enagic is not only just a member of WQA, most water companies are members of WQA. Enagic is the only one that has a gold seal certificate from WQA USA. What does this gold seal mean? It means that Enagic is the number one water ionizer in the USA, not just Japan. So imagine this is a totally Japanese product, but even in the US, we're number one. And in fact, we're also selling number one in the US, right? We're top selling in the US. And by the way, there are also other American brands out there, but even the Americans choose Enagic because of the quality, right? And these are all the certificates. Enagic is the only ionizer manufacturer in the world with 4 coveted certificates. Not easy to get this. And we're the only one, right? So comes to number 3. The only ionizer endorsed by 6,000 over doctors. So this is a certificate. It's in Japanese, right? It's in Japanese. Now this certificate, if you translate it into English, it is Japanese Association of Preventive Medicine for Adult Diseases. is made out of about 6,000 over doctors. Now, this association, what they do is they screen through and they review all the products in the Japanese market, and they will let the Japanese population know which are the products endorsed by them. And how they work is very amazing. In one industry, they only endorse one company. So imagine if I'm talking about, let's say, supplement. Let's say you buy a vitamin C or whatever, right? You buy a vitamin C supplement. They'll review all the vitamin C's in the market. They'll only recommend one company. This is the best. So that's how they do it, right? So in water, in the water industry, guess who they endorse? 6,000 over doctors. They endorse only one company, which is Enagic. And this is backed up by 6,000 over doctors. So for some of you who are thinking, maybe you want to consult your doctor friend or ask your local GP about the water, whether it's good for you or not, you can go ahead and do that. But honestly, nothing beats 6,000 over doctors, because 6,000 doctors are already telling you this is the best machine in Japan. And I don't know about you, but I trust the Japanese associations and I trust the Japanese ministries much more than I trust my own government's ministries and associations, right? Because they are already known to have high standards. They are known to have high standards. All right. So this is a really powerful endorsement. That's number 3. And number 4 is the largest surface area of plates. So what are these plates? Now, in that Kangen machine, what do you think makes all the water alkaline and antioxidant and stuff like that? It is the plates. The plates are the one that electrolyzes the water, electricity, they shock the water, and then the water comes out with that quality. Without these plates, you can't do any of those, right? So the plates are the core engine of the machine. And Enagic has the largest surface area of plates, 465 square inches, largest in the industry. So let's do a comparison. On the left, you have the SD501 Enagic plate. So the SD501 has 7 of these plates. The K8 has 8 of these plates. The new Junior 4 has 4 of these plates, whichever model you're going for. And take a look on the right side. Another machine is called Jupiter. That's how tiny their plate is. And they use something called mesh plate. Means what? They have holes in their plates to save on cost. Our plate is only solid plate, right? And that's how big our plate is, 7 of those. The bigger the plate you have, the better the water ionization. Very simple. Imagine this is your plate. If your plate is small like this, when the water passes through, you only have this tiny surface area to shock the water. Compared to having a big plate, you have more surface area to shock the water. And we have 7 of these. So there's ample of time for the water to be electrolyzed. If you have a tiny plate, you don't get a lot of electrolysis. That's why most machines out there cannot produce the same amount of antioxidants and alkalinity as Kangen, because they have very small plates. And that's why they can sell at a very cheap price, because the majority of the cost of the machine is in the plates. Take a look at this, left and right. Left is a cheaper machine, and right is our Enagic engine. Thick plates. Same thing here, left and right. Left is Enagic, right is the Athena machine. 5 really tiny plates, and on the left, medical grade, 465 square inches. We have so many more pictures. Why? Because a lot of our customers in Malaysia, in India, what happens when they buy a Kangen machine? They don't want their own machine anymore. You take it away, throw it or whatever. So we'll take it, we'll bring it back to the office, but we'll open it up and take photos and show our future customers what is inside. All right. So the surface area of plates. The bigger the surface area of plates, the better the ionization. Period. It's as simple as that. There's no shortcuts. All right. It's like your car. You want to go faster, you must have a bigger engine. Okay. Now, number 5, medical grade solid plates. So even the quality of the plates is very, very important. You can have a big plate, but if you use very cheap metals that can rust, that can rot after a few years, it's very dangerous, right? Why is it dangerous? Because if your metal is cheap, when it starts to rot, it starts to leak, it goes into your water, right? And then when you start drinking the water, you get something called metal poisoning, which is fatal. So the reason why Enagic decides to be a medical standard is so that all the plates are medical grade. It doesn't rot and melt and go into your water. You are safe, because the ISO 13485 ensures that the plastic, metal, the purity of the platinum, the manufacturing, the testing, the QC, to the finished product, everything has to be medical standard. And if you're asking me, okay, Simon, so what is this plate made out of? The plate is made out of medical grade titanium coated in platinum. I'm going to say it again. It is made out of titanium, pure titanium, coated in pure platinum, dipped in platinum. Why? Titanium is the best conductor for electricity. The better the conductor, the more powerful the electrolysis. So if this is the plate, the water goes through, the better the conduction, the better the electrolysis, the better the quality of the water. The longer the quality of the water will stay in the bottle. Why platinum? Because platinum is chemically inert. What is chemically inert? It is a non-reactive metal. It doesn't react with anything. So when you have water passing through, it protects the titanium from the water. If you just put titanium like that and just put water, the titanium will start to get reaction and it will start to react. So that's why we put platinum. And if you check the price of platinum, it is extremely, extremely high. And we only use pure platinum. All right, so that's number 5. Coming to number 6, which is track record. Now, whether you are in for the product, you're listening to this webinar today because you are interested in the product for your health, you have a family member that is suffering from certain ailments and disease, and you really want to have this machine to help them, or you're in it because you want to look at this as a business opportunity. Similarly, regardless of either case A or B, you have to look at the track record of the company. Now, Enagic has been in the market for 45 years. This year end, it will be 46 years. It is not a new company. It's been around for a long time. And it's going to be around for even longer time. That's why what I'm trying to say is the track record of the company is so important. If you buy a cheap machine, even though it's half the price of Enagic, $2,000, from a company that's been around for 3 years, what guarantee can they give you? You're still going to be around after 3 years. And you get whatever parts you need or you need to service your machine, what guarantee is there that they'll still be around? But of course, for Enagic, there's also no guarantee the company will be around the next year. But logically thinking, if the company's been around for 45 years, definitely it's going to be around for longer. And our business is growing. So it makes zero sense that the company will close, right? But if a 3-year-old company, you never know, right? You never know. So that's number 6. Coming to number 7. Each of every one of these machines, if you look at the back of your machine, right? You open the box, this nice blue box. You open at the back of your machine, you look at the serial number. Each serial number, it is tagged to the technician that assembled your machine in Japan. Every single machine from A to Z, from start to finish, is all from our factory in Osaka, Japan. We don't send the machine to somewhere else to get certain parts. We don't buy parts from somebody else. Everything is in-house. Why? Because our factory is medical standard. And this is just one of the photos. We have so many photos of our factory visit to Japan. This was quite an old photo, 2015. This is our factory. And on the factory, on the banner is ISO 13485. Proudly, we will put it there. That this is a medical facility. And if you ask Hemanth, I think just very recently he went to Japan for a factory tour. He can tell you how clean, how proper, how professional all the Japanese technicians are. They do things to really perfection, right? This is Japanese. So that's number 7. Everybody following so far? If you're following, give me a thumbs up. If I'm going too fast, right? If you're following, give me a thumbs up. Cool. So number 8, does not overheat within an hour of non-stop ionization. Means you can create the Kangen water out of the machine, run the water non-stop for 1 hour non-stop. And we even had somebody from Malaysia that turned on the water, forgot about it, went out to a shopping mall, came back, his entire kitchen was flooded because the water was running out. He left the water on for more than 10 hours and the machine was still producing the water. Because why? Our machines, right, we use solid titanium and platinum. Other machines out there, you can never run it for more than 1 hour. Why? They have something called temperature shutdown. And this is a very important point. They will say things like it employs the thermal switch and to stop the process if the temperature gets too hot. Why do you think they need a temperature shutdown? Because when your machine plates, the engine, is made out of cheap metals, when you heat it too much, it starts to melt. If you use solid metals, no way the heat from the machine can melt the metal. If you're talking about titanium and platinum, no way 100, 200 degrees, even 200 degrees can melt the titanium. No way, because the melting point for titanium and platinum is in the thousands of degrees, right? But why a lot of machines out there, they melt? Because they mix cheap metals inside. That's how they bring down the cost. But what is the danger? When it melts, you start to drain all this metal. And this is how a lot of the machines look like. Take a look at all these images. You can snap a photo if you want to, right? It's entirely up to you for your own keeping. These are how all the machines that have been used after 1 to 2 to 3 years, they give it back to us. We open it up, and that's how their plates look like. It's all burnt up. And God knows how many of all these debris went into their water and they drank it, right? Kangen, you can heat it up. It doesn't melt. Why? Because we use pure titanium and platinum. You can't melt this stuff with 100, 200 degrees. It's not possible. But the other stuff, you can melt it because it's cheap, right? So that's number 8. Very important, because if you drink out of a machine that has these kind of things, chances of getting metal poisoning is very high. It becomes a health hazard, right? So you want to keep your family safe, you really need to choose the best, and Enagic is the best. Okay, that's number 8. Now coming to number 9, biggest and fastest water flow. Every time I talk about this point, right, I always talk about this story in Dubai. I was in Dubai in 2016 to build the Kangen business. Hemanth was with me, Mr. Sam's here, the number 1 distributor in the whole of Asia, even the world. Mr. Sam's here. You guys will meet him soon. We do a lot of physical events in India and Dubai, but unfortunately, because of COVID, we couldn't travel. We went there in 2016 to open up the market for Enagic, for Kangen. One of my customers, one of my earliest customers, his name is Mr. Mohammed Salam. He is a local Emirati in Dubai, and he's a friend of a friend. He came over to my apartment to check out the machine, but he said on the phone, he said, Simon, I'll just come to see you because I just want to probably say hi to you, and it's a good gesture since you're a foreigner. I want to show you some local hospitality. But honestly, I just bought a water ionizer from Samsung 2 weeks ago, and he got it imported from Kuwait. I said, okay, how much was that? He said he spent 14,000 dirhams. 14,000 dirhams is approximately close to 4,000 US dollars, around there, right? So I said, oh, wow, you just bought it. I said, cool. I said, never mind. You keep an open mind. You come over to my apartment. We have a chit chat and let's see. He was very open-minded guy. He said, okay, cool. He came in. What I did was, thanks for coming, Mr. Muhammad. Can I get you a glass of water? He said, yeah. I just went to my machine. I turned on my water. The water just flew out from the machine at 6 liters a minute. I filled up the glass. I gave it to him. Do you know what this guy told me? He said, is that the machine you're talking about? I said, yes. I won one. I said, huh? I thought you said you just bought one 2 weeks ago. Why? I was about to show him a demo. He didn't even need to see it. He said, I won one. I said, sure, I'll order one for you. But let me understand, what was the reason that made you want to purchase a Kangen machine despite having another machine? He said, you know, my machine is such a pain. The water drips out of the machine. It's so slow. Every morning when I'm so thirsty, to fill up one glass, he said one glass, it takes a few minutes. A few minutes for one glass. At least 1 to 2 minutes. Because why? On more of these machines, they use very small hoses, like the bottom. Enagic one is the big hoses on the top. Then you may ask me, such a simple problem, right, Simon? Why don't they just use a bigger hose? It's not so simple. Why do they use a small hose? Because they have something called a control valve. They need to slow down the water going to the machine. Why do they need to slow down? My machine was like this. My water pressure from my house was very fast. When I turn on the water faucet, but when I turn it into the machine, the water come out very slow. I said, how come? The water here so fast, how come after going to the machine so slow? Because most machines have a valve. Why do you think they need to have a valve? Because if the water is too fast, their small plate cannot electrolyze the water. So they need to put in a control valve to slow down the water so that their small plates can at least ionize the water. That's what Mr. Mohammed Salam was suffering from his Samsung machine, right? So when he saw that our machine just went full blast, water just came out with the optimum quality, he was amazed, right? He was totally amazed. And he bought a machine, and he bought 2 machines, one for himself, one for his father. And he even referred some of his friends to buy a machine, right? So imagine this. So that's number 9. You guys got the point so far, right? Cool. And number 10, the only ionizer producing 11.5 and 2.5. For some of you that don't know what 11.5 and 2.5 is, these two pH waters is unique to only our machine. The 11.5 is to remove all the pesticides from your fruits and vegetables. 11.5. The 2.5 is very relevant in today's world because it is one of the most powerful antiseptic. We even had a test done. We took a test of the doorknob. You know, doorknobs are very dirty, right? Because everybody opens the door using the doorknob. We take a test the bacteria level of the doorknob before, and then we test the bacteria level after using the Kleenex, the all these sprays, the level of bacteria, and then we try using the 2.5. The bacteria almost dropped to 0. So the 2.5 was even more powerful than all these Mr. Muscle, all these Kleenex. So powerful. Now, a lot of people out there, they say things like, Enagic, to produce the 11.5 and 2.5, they need to use a chemical. Now, what is this chemical? We call it an enhancer, where you put it into your machine. When you create the 11.5 and 2.5, the machine mixes this enhancer with the water, electrolyze it to give you the 11.5 and 2.5. But outside, all the people out there are saying that we use a lot of chemicals. Now, let me share with you what are the ingredients of our enhancer. The first one is sodium chloride. For a person that has no idea what sodium chloride is, they hear the word chloride and sodium, they get scared. But what is sodium chloride? It is basically salt, table salt. Number one ingredient. Is table salt going to kill you? I don't think so. Right? Number two, sodium hypochlorite. Well, a lot of people say, hey, Simon, sodium chloride, I already scared. Now you add a hypo there. I'm hypo scared now. Right? So what is sodium hypochlorite? It is actually chlorine or bleach. So why do we put in chlorine? It is actually a form of preservative for the enhancer. Now, why do people say that it's unsafe? Because they feel like, oh my God, you're drinking bleach. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not drink the 11.5 and 2.5 at all. As I mentioned, the 11.5 is for what? Washing fruits and vegetables. 2.5 is for sanitization. None of these two waters go into your body. And in fact, without the enhancer, you cannot produce such strong waters. Right? So this is our unique selling point. So this is from our senior technician in Osaka. They say that the use of sodium chloride in the electrolysis enhancer is a unique selling point. The quantity of the chlorine or the sodium hypochlorite in one bottle of enhancer is 0.004%. Majority of the enhancer is salt and water, and 0.004% is the chlorine as a preservative. Without this, you cannot produce the hydrochloric acid and the sodium hydroxide, which is 11.5 and 2.5. So I hope this is clear to you guys, because a lot of people will use this to scare you. Chemical. But you must know your facts. All right, then number 10. Number 11, e-cleaning. For those of you who have owned your machine for more than 1 month, I'm sure you have done something called e-cleaning, which is a 5-minute step to clean your machine. Now, Enagic's the only ionizer with this e-cleaning system. The other machines out there, there is no way to clean their machine. Most machines have something called auto cleaning. Auto cleaning is a very basic cleaning. What they do is they just reverse the polarity of the machines, the plates, and hope to clean some of the stuff in the engine. Why do you need to clean your machine? The Kangen machine is just like any other machine. Your car, you need to take to service. The machine also you need to clean. But the best thing about our machine is you can do it yourself. You don't have to spend money and ask a person to come to your house to clean your machine for you. You can do it yourself, and it takes 5 minutes. All right? Because if you don't clean your machine, inside all the other machines, it becomes so dirty. And take a look at this. A 1-year-old machine that has no e-cleaning feature. Take a look at the results. Tap water, blue color. Acid water, green color. Alkaline water, also green color. So what is this machine doing? Nothing. Because why? Most likely is the machine, the plates all clogged up. It's all clogged up. This is how all these machines look like. When it gets dirty, what happens? When the water passes through it, there is no contact between the water and the plates. That's why there's no ionization, because it's blocked by the dirty stuff. And there's simply no way for other machines to clean the dirty stuff. In Enagic, there is a way. We put in a powder, an acidic powder, to remove all these dirty stuff. My machine has been in my house for close to 7 years already. Today, the antioxidant, the alkalinity is just like day one because I clean it every month. It's awesome, right? Exhibit A, Viva machine and Enagic. Viva is one of the biggest, I wouldn't say competitor, but the loudest competitor in the market. They always compare themselves to Enagic. I don't know why. We don't really care about them. They're always comparing themselves to Enagic. Always. In their marketing, they'll always say, don't buy Enagic, buy Viva because we're cheaper, we're better, we're this. There is no such thing as cheaper and better. Cheaper means cheaper. And there's a reason. Take a look at their plates. This is after using it for two years plus. And the Enagic one is also 2 years plus with proper cleaning. Right? And the thing is this, why do all these companies want to compare themselves with Enagic? It's very simple, because Enagic is number one in the market. When smartphone came out, everybody was trying to imitate iPhone. Why? Because they are the industry leader. Everybody wants to be iPhone, but they're not, right? So same thing here. Viva plates, dirty. Now coming to the last three already, not affected by hard water. For some of you, most of the countries, you have either soft water or hard water or normal water. In Malaysia, the water is pretty normal. In certain parts of India, the water is quite hard. In Dubai, it's okay. Hard water means the water has high level of calcium and magnesium. Europe, hard water. So when you shower in hot water, your skin gets very dry. That's why a lot of people get the Enagic Anaspa machine, where you get to filter out all the hardness, you get to filter out all the chlorine, and you have an amazing shower. That's also one of Enagic's products to protect your skin. Because when you're showering, it's as if you're drinking water because your skin absorbs water. I have an Anaspa in my house, so we all shower in this Anaspa. It's very clean, it's very healthy, and you feel awesome. Now, the Kangen water, in terms of drinking, you can also use it in countries that has hard water. Why? Because every month there is a cleaning system. If all this magnesium and calcium stuck onto the engine, you put in the e-cleaning, it cleans it off. If the machine out there in the market, something that's cheaper, $2,000, $3,000, if you put into a country that has hard water, you're done, you're finished. 6 months, you can throw the machine away because they're all clogged up and you can't wash it, right? So it's very, very important. So number 13, up to 230 watts. So why am I talking about all this technical stuff like watts and all this stuff? Because watts is basically the power output. The more power output you have on the machine, the better the quality of the water. The less power output, lesser quality of the water. And why can Enagic produce up to 230 watts? Simple, because the plates is medical grade titanium and platinum. You can charge it with as high watts as possible, current as possible, amperes, and it can produce a very high wattage to shock the water. So the same thing, you buy a cheap car, expensive car. Expensive car will always go better, right? Like a BMW, it will always go faster because higher power. Same thing with the machine. Same thing here, okay? You use a $1 one, $200 one, different, right? People always say it's the same, but it's different. And number 14, long machine lifespan. Now, a lot of people tell me, you know, Simon, I really wish to have the machine, or I'm thinking of getting the machine, but it's so expensive. You know, it's $4,000, it's $5,000, it's so expensive. You know what I tell them? I tell them, so what do you want to go for? He said, oh, I'll go for a machine half the price, $2,000, $1,000. I said, okay. If they're a close friend of mine, I will straight up tell them this. I say, I'm not as rich as you. I'm not as rich to buy cheap products. So I'll buy a premium product. They'll be, huh? Why? Because cheap products, you buy every time. You have to change every time. Good quality products, you only buy once. Why do you think people buy a Rolex? A Rolex, even though it's expensive, but it has quality, it maintains its value, and it lasts a lifetime, right? So same thing with Enagic. If you buy a cheap machine, you will end up paying more because every 2 to 3 years, you spend $2,000. Might as well get the best from today. And every time you buy the cheap machines, you're not even getting the best water, and you're spending more. Enagic, 15 to 25 years lifespan. Imagine what other products out there can give you a 15, 25-year lifespan. Our Mr. Tim Cook and Apple, they will never want the Apple iPhone to last more than 5 years. If every iPhone can last 5 years, they wouldn't be a $1 trillion company today. They wouldn't be, right? They need it to break. BMW, after 5 years, people throw away the car. Why? Because people, the BMW or all these car manufacturers, they no longer build machines to last because it's no longer profitable. It's a bad business model for them. They need to break and they need you to spend again and again and again and again. Enagic, one machine. Mr. Oshiro, our CEO, says, I only need you to buy one machine for the rest of your life. That's it. All right. So that's Mr. Oshiro and that's Enagic. 15, 25 years. And lastly, coming to the last one, which is 5 years, warranty. Parts and labor. So when you purchase these machines, you have an international warranty, and we have over 38 officers worldwide to service your machine if in the event there's any problem. So you're absolutely safe. And for those of you listening on this call today, you probably have an office in your country itself. All right. So let me just go through a summary. You can take a photo at the end of this summary. I'll allow like 10 seconds of the points that I've covered. And let me just reiterate. Number one is the ISO 13485. The gold seal from WQA, the water ionizer endorsed by 6,000 over doctors, largest surface area of plates, medical plates, 99% purity, track records of 45 years, I didn't change it, 45 years actually, direct from Japanese manufacturer, does not overheat, biggest and fastest water flow, 11.5 and 2.5 unique to Enagic, e-cleaning system, not affected by hard water, 230 watts, long machine lifespan, and 5-year warranty. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna leave this slide here for 10 seconds for those of you who can, you either use your smartphone to take a photo or use your screenshot, whatever it is. I'll give you guys a little bit more time. All right, so these are all the points. So what is the conclusion? Now, after learning about all these points, it doesn't mean you need to use all the points of your customers, on your prospects. 99% of the customers don't care about all these points. I won't say 99%, I would say 90%. 90% of your customers don't care about all these points. 90% of them will care about some of the points. Only 10% or less than 10% goes into the technical part of the machine when they compare your Kangen machine and other machines. And that's where you need to have this knowledge to give it to them and to show them why Enagic is number one. But the average retail customer does not need to know everything. So basically what I'm trying to say is you don't need to bombard your customer with all these 15 points. You only bring it up when you need it. The problem is a lot of salespeople, a lot of distributors, they are what we call the regurgitators. Regurgitators means they get all the information and they put a prospect in front of them, they regurgitate. They just put out the 15 points in front of them. But the prospect don't need it. You heard of a phrase called less is more, right? Less is more. The lesser you say, the better, right? The more you say, sometimes it's all unnecessary. So the competition is not so scary after all. The lack of knowledge about the competition is the biggest competition. You don't know. You don't know what to say. And my suggestion to you is this. Take your time. Do your own research. Go on Google, go on YouTube, learn everything about Kangen. Act like you've invested $1 million in the business and not just $4,000. Because for some of you to start this business, all you need is one machine, $4,000. Find me a business that you can start with $4,000. Nothing. No. You open a shop, a little shop selling mini market. You need to spend a lot more than that, right? So in this business, it's only $4,000. So the problem is when people only invest $4,000 to start the business, they put in $4,000 worth of effort to do research. My suggestion to you is act like you have invested $1 million because this business may potentially provide you that $1 million. That is where Hemanth will come in to teach you guys exactly how it is. So this is the conclusion of the competition, don't let your prospects become victims of the competition, because if they truly drink out of all these machines that is rotten and leaking and melting, they are actually victims. Educate your customers, empower them. The key is education, guys. The more you educate, not sell, educate, not convince, not push, it's educate. If you educate your customers the right way, they will make the right decision, right? And learn all that you can and know that you represent the gold standard. Okay, guys? So this is basically the competition. Okay, so that's from the competition. I hope you guys learn a lot. If you guys got some value from there, give me a number 1 in the chat box, right? Or a thumbs up in the camera. I can actually see you as well. Thank you guys so much. So once again, don't use all these points on every single customer. You don't need it. But make sure that you know all this stuff. And whenever a customer asks, you know what to say. All right. So I'm going to actually pass the floor back to Hemanth, because he has the second segment of today's webinar, which is really important, because he's going to teach you exactly how he, at a very young age, built one of the most fastest growing teams in India to sell Kangen machine, right? One of the fastest growing team in India selling Kangen machines. So if you want to learn his secrets, how he does it, how his team does it, how our team does it, you need to pay attention for the next segment. So Hemanth, thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. I'll pass the floor back to you.
Thank you, Simon. That was such an amazing session to always hear from you and to see you so much value. And one thing is, I just wanted to share that, you know what, in spite of, you can see that in spite of Simon's birthday today, he's committed to come here and support all of us with this information, because I truly, believe that with what Simon has shared with you all of you all who are watching us today on Zoom and on YouTube, you guys are basically going to take this information and apply this and possibly change a million lives, right? So this would be the best birthday treat that Simon has given to all of us. So with that, let's throw all our shower all our blessings and love to Simon. You can do that on the chat. And at the same time, when with this information that you have about the competition, and you're so excited right now, you want to go out there, you want to just talk to people that we are the 13485, we are Gold Seal, we are 45-year-old company. I just want to share with you all that before you can start doing that, there are things that you need to be equipped. There are mistakes that you must avoid, right? Because people say that mistakes are good because you learn from them. But I tell them that mistakes are expensive, because the more mistakes you make, the slower it takes, or the longer it takes for you to reach your destination or your goals. So that's why, we have brought out this topic, and we'd just like to say, Simon, thank you so much, and wish him a great day today, and have a great year ahead. And we move forward with the next session, which is called the Kangen mistakes to avoid. These are the mistakes that these are not the mistakes of anybody. These are mistakes of the successful distributors, especially successful distributors such as Mr. Samsia, Simon, myself, all the top leaders in the world, actually. And this segment was designed by Mr. Samsia, and the mistakes of none other than Mr. Samsia himself. So, and just to give a bit background or overview about Mr. Samsia, right? He has been in the Enagic business for more than 9 years now, coming close to 10 years now. And he has built organizations that are spread across so many countries. And he was the key person in starting Malaysia. He was the initial pioneer there, and most of the sales today in Malaysia is under Mr. Sam. And he was the one instrumental in starting the Enagic India branch. And I mean, in India, we have sold more than 50,000 units. And most of it, I mean, a huge part of it, right? More than 90% of it is from Mr. Samsia's team. And he was a key, and we came here with Simon, myself, and Mr. Sam, and we worked hard to make sure that the Dubai office opens up. And he was the instrumental person on his advice right? Mr. Oshiro saw value in opening Enagic Dubai, and today Dubai, thousands of families have already benefited here already in the whole of UAE. So think about this. All this would have not happened if he made these mistakes, and or during this period, he has made a lot of mistakes which he wants to share with us. And this is one of the secret reasons I would say that why Simon or myself, with like zero experience of business or anything, we were able to build such huge organizations across different countries because we exactly followed and we avoided all these mistakes. So it's coming straight from us to you, right? So let's look at mistakes number one. And chances are, if you are having a notebook or a notepad, make sure that you write down all of this so that you can, we say that when you put it on paper, you remember for a long time. When you just listen, you forget very soon. So make sure that you put it on paper. Let's look at mistake number one. What is the first mistake to avoid? Mistake number one, not learning from successful distributors. Now, who are successful distributors? Successful distributors are always the people who have introduced to you, introduced the product to you, or they could be people who are in your uplines, like successful people like Mr. Sam, all the top leaders in the company, right? They are more successful than you are at the moment, because I believe that no matter, even if you're coming from a business background or you've had a lot of years of experience, but when you start Enagic is basically new for most of you all, right? And the industry that we are in is very new for you guys when you start. So it's very important, right, to treat your first few sales like you're delivering your first baby, or if yourself, like if you're a lady or if you have sisters or your spouse, let's say they're delivering their baby, right? You would always want the babies to be delivered by an experienced person, irrespective of what they've studied, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their background. As long as they've had the experience, you would want them to deliver them. Let's say a young guy like myself graduated from university, top MBBS degree, and I've never delivered any baby. You would not want me to deliver a baby because I don't have any experience. So that's why it's very important that you ask for help from successful distributors. And now successful distributors not necessarily means people who have sold 100 machines or more. Yes, you can reach out to them on your own upline level, but I would always say that the successful distributor who is very close to you is the person who introduced you to this business. Because I believe that even if they've sold one machine more than you, they're more successful than you are. I mean, they have more experience than you have. And to sell that one machine, they've gone through a lot of rejections, a lot of failures. So ask help from them. Ask help from successful distributors. Let the experienced distributors do the talking. I see this many times from a lot of my new distributors. They're so excited. They start talking. They bring in the prospect. They introduce to the sponsor, and then they start talking. They start talking. They start saying how good the product is, or worse, they interrupt when the presentation is going on, when the demo is going on, when the business plan is going on. They interrupt, and sometimes not only they interrupt, they also deflect or they deviate from the topic. By doing all of these things, right, the person who's doing it does not know that he's taking away value from the prospect, but they're doing this unknowingly or unintentionally. And when you do that, what happens is your prospect, right, your two things happen. One is, right, your prospect gets distracted, and when they get distracted, they don't really focus, they cannot focus. And the second thing is, by you blurting out or speaking, sometimes chances are you may say out the wrong things, and by that way sometimes also takes away the credibility of the introducer. So there's one thing that I always recommend that you do, right? When you start, right, you just be an observer. You introduce your prospect to your sponsor and introduce your sponsor to your prospect, and let them do the talking. You just take a step back and observe. Just see how things are done so that you learn it and you can apply it after, once you are able to do it by your own. Now, another thing is, the next thing that you need to do is to edify your sponsor or edify the person who's doing the presentation, right? Edify, because when you edify, what you do is you transfer the trust you have with your prospect, you transfer the trust on to the introducer or the presenter or the speaker, right? you just transfer the trust, and that is what you must be doing, which is to edify. Like I would say, hey, you know what, I have this amazing young gentleman who has traveled all the way from Malaysia, and he's had experience over 6 years in this business, and a very successful person, and I really respect him. You should listen to him. Let's say if Simon is doing the presentation, right? And what happens at that time is your prospect, they come in and they listen, and it's easy for them to believe what the speaker is saying. Or else what happened, they'll start doubting the speaker, and then everything goes for a toss, right? So initial stage, don't be a hero. The lesson from this mistake is don't be a hero, right? We all want to be the ones who are speaking. It's good, but not at the beginning. At the beginning, let your sponsor do the talking, right? You just observe and you just edify your sponsor. That's it, right? So this is mistake number one. Let's look at mistake number two. Talk, 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 right? Now, not showing what the machine does. When we are so excited about this, the product, we pick up the phone call and we start talking. We say alkaline, water, filter, Kangen water, amazing. All those things, what happens when we say the prospect has not seen what you have seen. There is a saying that people doubt what they hear and believe what they see. So when you are just talking, you're not helping the customer. You're creating more doubt in them. They start doubting you. And when they actually come to see a presentation, they come with a closed mind because they're like, I know about this and it doesn't sound right. And when they come and they, even though the presentation is wonderful, but still they don't believe because they've heard of it already and they're expecting, or they come with preconceived notion. So it's best that, when you start, right, you don't talk about the machine. Don't even say water. Don't even say Enagic or Kangen, right? Because they might have heard of it from somebody else. Maybe that person didn't explain to them properly, or that person didn't give the value that you could probably give. And so that's why we say the live demo holds a key to a successful sale, because it's the unique selling point of our Enagic business, right? So what it means is, show me one product where you can actually show the difference on spot, right? If you're taking supplements, you need to be taking supplements for months together or weeks together for you to see the difference, right? Whereas here, you come see into the demo, we show you all the difference, the ORP, the pH, the alkaline, the vegetable washing, everything is live in front of you, because that's the unique selling point of Enagic business. And people believe what they see, right? So the lesson from here is no demo, no sales, right? And when you are introducing someone to the product or making an invitation, I just told you not to say Enagic, not to say Kangen, not to say water. So your question will be, so what do I tell him? So what is the thing that I should be telling him on the call, right? I wouldn't even encourage WhatsApp invitations because that's not personal, right? And you don't deliver emotions through messages, right? So it's best that you pick up the phone and it's more personal, and make a invitation over the phone call. And when you make a phone call, all you do is you don't sell the product. What you do is you sell the demo. When I mean what do I mean by sell the demo? You call them and you tell them that, hey, I have seen something amazing that I believe that will really be helpful for you and your family. If you're talking about the product, the health. If you want to share about the business, this is what I would say. I would say that, hey, you know what? I've recently I came across something that's amazing and it has a huge potential, right? And as a friend who I really respect, I want you to come and have a look at it and give me a second opinion, or I want you to come and have a look at it so that possibly we can do this together. And if they say, what is it? Tell me more about it. I would not say, because I know that if I say, then they'll ask more, and then they may not even come for the demo because they know everything on the phone. But try as much as possible to not give out. I would not give out any information. What I would say is that I want you to come and check it out. Invest 1 hour of your time. Come check it out, right? And then I would edify the speaker. I would edify the presenter, right? So this is mistake number two: no demo, no sales, and sell the demo. When you sell them the demo and they come for the demo will sell the product, or the demo will sell the opportunity, right? Never sell the product on the phone. It does not work. Great. Mistake number three: showing only the business plan, right? Many of y'all here, how many of y'all, you find the business plan very attractive? If you find the business plan very, please write attractive on the chat. If you find the business plan very attractive. Yeah, thank you. Now, since the business plan is very attractive, right? Sometimes what happens is we get so excited, we forget to show what the machine does. So people don't show what the machine does. They just say you can make so much money, there's so much income in this. They start writing down money, money, money. But what's happening in the eyes of the prospect is they're thinking in their mind, how on earth am I going to sell a product that is 4,000 US dollars? Because they don't know what the product does, right? So all you need to do is you must first show the engine that powers our business, right? The product. Because when people see the business or when people see the product, they get inspired and they want to do the business. There have been many instances where I show them the product. They themselves ask me, is there a way I could promote it? Is there a way I could reach this to many people? Well, I mean, you just gain their interest. But think about this, if I just start talking about the product business, all I hear is, Hemant, okay, it's all good, money is good, but how do I sell? What's so special about this product? Right? So the lesson from here is show the business plan only after the demo. Remember this, show the business plan only after the demo. And now comes the question, what if I know that this guy has huge business potential? Should I still show him the product? Yes. My invitation could be that, hey, there's an amazing opportunity, amazing potential where we both can partner and do together. And when they come to see you, always start with the demo first and then the business. Now keep the demo short, right? And just show them the crux of the properties of all the waters, right? And then show the business. And sometimes, right? Sometimes people just do the demo, but they don't show the business plan. I tell something to people that um, you know, if you don't show the business plan to people, right, then they don't know that they can also promote this to others. And the second thing is, when you don't show the business plan to people, you're just attracting end users, and that way you will be selling machines for the rest of your life. And sooner or later you'll get tired and you'll say the business doesn't work. But this business absolutely works if you work it the right way. So the right way is to show the business plan after the demo, and make sure that you show the business plan. And sometimes it's okay, the customer sees the product and they want to buy the machine right away. Let them purchase the machine. And after they've bought the machine, then you can show the business plan. I do that many times because I just show the product, they buy the machine, but I seed it in them. I tell them that there's also a way that you can also recover the investment or you can promote this. Right. So, how many of y'all like this approach? If you like this approach, please put a like. Please give me a like on the chat. Right. So, the lesson from here is product first, business after, right? And always show the business plan, because maybe the person you're talking to is not interested in business, but they know people who need the product, or they know people who will need the business, right? So you're just opening up to their contacts, opening up to their world, which could be much more bigger than your world, or which obviously combined together is much bigger than your world, right? So that's what you need to do. Keep constantly expanding. Let's look at mistake number 4. Calling this machine a water filter, a purifier, or an alkaline machine, right? Thank you so much for all the likes on the chat. Thank you. Now, um, I see many people doing this fatal mistake. Now, when they call a machine a water filter or a purifier or an alkaline machine, what they are doing is they're basically distancing the prospect from them. You know why? Because how many of you all here, before having Kangen machine, or if you don't have it yet, you already had or you already have a water filter in your house, and you don't want to hear people selling you another water filter or another alkaline or purifier, whatever. You're not interested, right? So people don't want to hear about it. This happened to me because when my father told me in 2015 October, this is almost 5 years back, he told me that there's this amazing purifier. They make this alkaline water, and it's only 4,000 US dollars. It's 4,000. It's not only. I'm exaggerating. He said it's 4,000 US dollars. Shall we buy this? And also good business in that. All I told him is that we already have a machine. Don't talk. Let's not waste time in this. This is me. I told my dad this 4.5 years back, right? So I believe this. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And so think about this. Kangen machines are not water filters, purifiers, or alkaline machines. Kangen machines are medical devices in Japan. Use this word. say medical devices in Japan. Don't just say medical device and leave it at that, because they're not medical device anywhere outside Japan. They're classified as a medical device by the Ministry of Health in Japan. Um, so it's only appropriate when we say these are medical devices in Japan, and immediately you attract their attention. And this is what happened to me, because for the first time when I met Mr. Samsia, right, in fact I was tricked by my father. He told me, let's go for lunch, and on the way when we were going for lunch, he said, I have a friend to meet, can we meet for 5 minutes? So when I met the friend, this so-called friend, but he was none other than Mr. Samsia, and he told me that, yeah, this is promoting a medical device in Japan, and we're doing this across the world. I was like, wow, what is it? Can you tell me more about it? And then he said, wow, okay, so we have a presentation. You see the difference? 4 months back, in 2015 October, my dad told me that this is same product, but I was not interested at all. But now, because of the word medical device, I was hooked onto it, and I said, can I? What is it? Tell me more about it. Right? So like Simon said, we're the only medical grade water ionizer in the world with ISO 13485. Use this with your people. When someone asks what is it, tell them, yeah, it's a medical device in Japan, right? And that's why it's something new. That's why I want you to come and have a look at it. So don't make this mistake of calling the Kangen machine a water filter, alkaline, or water purifier. These are dirty words in our business. We normally don't say dirty words, right? We shouldn't be saying dirty words. So these are dirty words in our business. Please avoid calling the Kangen machines water filter, alkaline, or purifier, right? So if you all agree with me that you will, from today, you will not say dirty words, please put a agree on the chat if you all agree. And thank you, right? So when I hear some distributors saying or telling to their prospect, it's a water filter, it's a very good, amazing water filter, right? I have to take them on a coaching separately. I have to tell them that don't say it as a water filter, because the prospect is not interested anymore and they think it's just a water filter business, right? Whereas it's not a water filter business. Enagic is not a selling a water machine company. Enagic is a company that is changing people's lives, both physically, financially, mentally, all these three things, right? So that's who we are. Let's look at mistake number 5: hide the existence of other ionizers. Now, Simon did an amazing job of, showcasing all the differences between Enagic and why Enagic is the best compared to the other so-called imitators. Now, what happens is when people ask you, are there any other products similar to Enagic, or are there any other competitors? I see many distributors say, no, we're the only ones. That's a big mistake. You know why? Because when you say that, and when people go and do their research, nowadays people are not 10 minutes internet expert, they're 1 minute internet expert. As I'm doing the presentation, people are on Google. I've caught them many times that I'm doing a presentation and they're on their phone, and all they're doing is searching for the on the internet. Now, when they do that, obviously they will come across a lot of XYZ companies, because all these companies use something called as a search engine optimization, or a keyword of Enagic or Kangen water, and that's what they sell. And there is no internet police to basically, classify or how do I say, correct the things that they say, right? There's no internet police, so people can say whatever they want to say, right? So when they say that, what happens is people start listening to that, and they get influenced by many of those articles online, right? And so that's why I share something that in this, right, when you don't educate your prospects, or when you hide the existence of other ionizers, your prospect gets misled, and when they get misled, they lose trust in you, or they stop trusting you. Why? Because you told them Enagic is the only one, but they found a lot of those other companies. But this is what I do. When someone tells me, are there any other companies? I say, yes, there are many. There are plenty, in fact, right? And I tell them that, and then I educate them why we are the best, right? Even after you do that, people are obviously going to go and do their internet research. Nothing will stop them from going on the internet. But when they go to the internet after you've educated them, and when they see all of that, they're like, yeah, Hemanth was right. All these companies are there. And now they're more educated, and now they're more at a better position to understand that, to break it down, and to consume it, to consume the information. And that time, what happens is your credibility or your trust in their eyes goes up. right? They start trusting you more, your credibility goes up, which is what you want to be doing. Every single thing that you do in this business should be in the direction of increasing your credibility, should be in the direction of increasing your relationship, your trust in the relationship, right? So that's why it's important to educate your prospects about the medical standard of Enagic and tell them upfront and show them the certificates, right? So, and we have the top doctors, show them the top doctors' recommendation, the top scientists, and like what Simon shared, 6,500 Japanese doctors endorsing and using the Kangen water machine. So all these things, right? And in this business, there are only two mistakes that people can do, right? There are only two types of mistakes. We don't like to make mistakes, but there are only two types of mistakes. The first type of mistake is listening to the people who don't know what they're talking about. You will make a mistake. And the second thing is not listening to the people who knows what they're talking about. Also, when you do that, you will also make a mistake, right? So listen to the people who knows what they're talking about. People like myself, Simon, Sam, and all the top leaders, all your introducers and all that. The reason is because that we have more to lose than the so-called internet writers, because anybody can open a blog and write whatever they want to. You don't even know them personally, right? And these doctors like Dr. Hiromi Shinya, the American Anti-Cancer Institute, the 6,500 doctors, they have a lot to lose if they were being proved wrong, right? And they put their name against it when they say Kangen water or when they say anything. They put their name against it. So that shows that basically you're listening to the right authority, not to any XYZ doctor or chiropractor or whatever, right? With all due respect, right? So that's the thing. What you say, you need to do here. So educate your prospects. Always educate them. I love to educate because we are in the education business, and we are not in the selling or a convincing business. We are in the education business, and people are adult enough or people are mature enough to take decisions. It's just that we help them make the right decision. The reason why is it's not because we don't see that they are capable of making the decision by themselves, but because what happens is when they get started, the job of these so-called XYZ companies, they're called spin masters. Their job is to spin people, misguide you from Enagic, because that's how they can sell their machine. Because otherwise, they cannot sell their machines organically. They have to use Enagic or Kangen water, and they have to sell. So that already shows that that they're using our names to sell their product, right? So it's important to educate your prospects, right? Don't what you say, let them be, don't let them become victims of the competition, right? I would normally tell people that you'd rather not buy any ionizer than going and buying a competitor or a cheap machine, right, which can cause metal poisoning and all the harmful side effects. So I hope mistake number 5 is clear. Mistake number 6, getting in the wrong crowd, right? Because what happens is when you get started, the first group of people you will start calling are your closest friends and family members. And how many of you all here, right? You actually, when you started first, you spoke to your closest friends and family, and you received a lot of positivity, or you received a lot of negativity. Which one did you receive the most, positivity or negativity, when you brought in your closest friends or family, friends and family initially? You can put in the chat. Now there is mostly negativity, right? Many people saying negativity. Some people say positivity. Great, that means you have you have people who are uplifting you. But 99% of the times, right, your closest friends and your family will be a source of negativity. Why do I say that? Because they feel that they have the responsibility to protect you. Protect you from what? Protect you from failing. Protect you from going through the pain, right? Because you're starting out something new. So you'll be going through a lot of challenges. So they feel that it's their responsibility to protect you, right? So they give you a lot of negativity. But chances are they have not done the research that you have done. They have not been exposed to the same content, same information that you have been exposed to, right? So the job of us is, when we are introducing to our friends and family, to expose them to the same things that we have been exposed to, so that we are on the same page, right? So, and not just that, even let's say, even if they're doctors, or with all due respect, right, they have not done the research what you have done, right? So what I would do is, if I'm talking to any doctor or anybody, I would give them the books, the Confessions of a Skeptical Physician, the Change Your Water, Change Your Life, the Dr. Hiromi Shinya's books, Killing Cancer, Not People, and I ask them to read it. because that's much more authoritative, and then they get convinced. So the lesson from here is basically to surround yourself with other successful distributors on a regular basis, because what happens is the more negativity you get from your friends and family, and the more emotionally attached you are to these, you get frustrated, you want to give up, you think that this business is not for yourself, not for you to do, and you miss out this amazing opportunity. Whereas at the same time, you see so many people being so successful, being so healthy in this business, and the company itself has been there for 46 years, right? And I'm sure 1.5 million people who are using the Kangen machine, or 1.5 families who are using the Kangen machine, 1.5 million, I mean, families, they cannot be wrong, right? And all over the place people are using this. So it's just that to expose them to the information that you've been exposed to, and also surround yourself with successful distributors, because you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. For example, let's say you're spending time with a lot of successful people, right? More successful than you are. What happens is you start becoming like them. You start adapting to their principles, their work ethics, and all that. But let's say if you are the number one in the community, right? Or if you're the number one on the top five, if you're on the top of the top five, the 5 people you spend time with, then what happens? These 4 people who are lower than you, sometimes they can drag you down, right? So always important for you to be the lowest of the 5 people that you spend most time with, right? So then what happens is you raise your levels, you increase, you become much better. And what's more amazing that than surrounding yourself with such meetings, such trainings, right, where you actually come across like-minded people and you can elevate yourself, you can move to the next level, right? So this with this I always say that choose your environment. The lesson is to choose your environment. You have this ability to choosing your environment. When I say environment, right, for example, like I love to spend time with all of you guys, right? Because I know that with what I'm sharing, it is helping you guys. But at the same time, for me to be able to do this continuously, regularly, I need to be also surrounding with more successful people than me, more positive, more how do I say, established people than me, right? So that I can take things off them and I can deliver it to you, right? So that's why it's very important to constantly choose your environment. So who do I spend time with? I spend time with people like Mr. Samsia, the top people like Grant Cardone. If you know about know Grant Cardone, I'm in a mentor program with him, right? I understand, I learn from him, and I deliver it with all of you, right? So that's why it's important that you choose your environment. Eric Worre, right? In fact, Simon spent like a lot of money, just flew all the way to Las Vegas to learn from Eric Worre directly, right? So look at that, right? Because your environment is stronger than your willpower. No matter how strong you are, you want to make this more successful. If your environment is pulling you down, dragging you, giving you constant negativity, no matter how strong your willpower is, you will succumb to the negativity, right? So that's why it's important. Choose your environment, be with like-minded and positive people. Let's look at mistake number 7, not wanting to improve, right? So what happens is when you come with a set of beliefs and you believe that these beliefs are going to help you get successful, and with that you become stagnant. And once you become stagnant, what happens? Slowly you stop believing in the product, or you stop believing in the business plan. You think the business plan doesn't work, and the worst thing that can happen is you stop believing in yourself. Because I always tell people that if you stop believing in the product, we have amazing testimonials, amazing results that the product works. And in fact, I tell this, and in fact, we are live, and I tell this that every single person who used the Kangen machine properly, in the optimum levels, will see a tangible difference, right? So product works that way. Then business plan works. If let's say you want more belief on the business plan, because there are a lot of people successful in this business, right? It is possible you can be successful in this business, right? Only the only person who can help you if you stop believing in yourself is yourself, right? So the only way you can help yourself is by immersing yourself in books, trainings like these, seminars, watching videos, and building an unshakable belief in the product, in business plan, and in yourself, right? I totally have an unshakable belief that this is the absolute best product in the world. First thing. Second thing, I am so confident that this is the only business actually opportunity that has made most millionaires any other traditional businesses out there with such a low investment. So I am confident about that. I have an unshakable belief that if you do this business the right way, every single of your person here will be successful to your dreams, to be able to reach your dreams. And I tell something that what I am today, I was not even 5% of who I am today when I was like 4 years back when I started Enagic, right? Because Enagic has grown me so much as a person that I say that, it is more like a personal development journey disguised in a business outfit, right? So I believe that 90% of your success is determined on how your personal development is. Only 10% of it is the how to do's, how to do demo, how to close a sale, and all those things, right? But if you work on yourself, you build yourself, right? It's like this. A ship can only sink, right, if you let the water. A ship in the ocean can only sink where if you let the water around the ship enter the ship, right? So the same way, you can only sink in this business when you let the outside, negativity, or the people and all that enter into you, right? So how do you be strong and how do you stay afloat? By immersing yourself in books, training, seminars, videos. I even nowadays catch Mr. Samsia, right, going through trainings, attending seminars, attending trainings like he's day one, he's first day. And I learned this from Amazon. When I was working for Amazon.com, they have this philosophy, which they call it the day one philosophy, meaning no matter how experienced you are or how long you worked in Amazon, every day that you come into the office, treat it like your day one, treat it like your first day, right? Like you're new. Uh, But I see many people who are like 3A, 4A. They say, I know everything about it. But even after 2 years, they remain in the 3A, 3, 4A itself, right? They're not willing to improve, right? But if you see, like, I personally have invested more than close to $50,000 on my personal development, on my personal training, and all that. And many people say, oh, Hemant, because you earned the money, that's why you could do it. No, because I did it is why I earned the money, right? I was willing to go through the training. And if you see all the top successful business leaders in the world, they read books, minimum of 50 books a year, right? The more books you read, the more seminars you attend, the more money you make, right? Simple as that. So keep improving. Mistake number 7 is to keep improving. So just if you put on the chat, please put on the chat, I want to keep improving. Some of y'all cannot, if you cannot hear me, can you hear me? Okay, great. Thank you. Great. Now let's look at mistake number 8. Talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Now, who's Tom, Dick, and Harry? Talking to anybody and everybody. Now, when you do that, although we say this product is for everyone, right? But the thing is, when you do that, when you start off, when you're new, when you start, you will be reducing the effectiveness of your effort because not everyone will buy it immediately, right? Let's say, for example, I go speak to a security guard. Right? Maybe they don't have the ability at the moment to go for it. And the more you do that, the more you get disappointed. And when you get disappointed, you give up one day or the other. So the lesson from here is to talk to the people who wants or needs the product. When you start, talk to the people who wants or needs the product. Talk to the people who are thirsty. When I say thirsty, people who are thirsty to improve their lives, standard of lives, thirsty for their good health. They know they've suffered a lot in the health sector, or thirsty for people who want to provide a better life for their family, right? So we have a qualifying, how do I say, qualifying criteria here for your ideal prospect. The qualifying criteria is they must be mint, mint, MINT. What do I mean by mint? Mint means that M stands for money, I stands for interest, N stands for needs, and T stands for trust. Money. To explain more about this, talk to the people who have the money, because let's say you're talking to someone and they cannot even invest in the basic model, cannot go on the installment plans, then you're basically, they won't be buying it right away. They may take a long time, but they won't be taking action immediately, right? And another part of the money part I talk about is the mindset, because when I bought the machine, I did not have the money. I had to buy it from my credit card, and my mom borrowed some money. So that's why we accumulated the money and then we got the machine, right? So the second part of the M stands for mindset, right? Although if they don't have the money, do they have the mindset to arrange the money? Because I tell them, look around in your house. Chances are you may have many things that is more expensive than the Kangen machine, but you bought them because it's not because you needed them, because you wanted them. So the same way, right? Do you have the mindset to be able to, let's say, had if you had a chance to arrange the money, if you could arrange the money, can you do that? So talk to the people like that who has the mindset. Second thing is interest. People who are interested in either being living a healthy life or interested in the business. Primarily business, people who are interested in doing the business. And the third part is the needs. See, we believe that every single person needs the product, but not everybody will buy it immediately. So there are two categories of need. For example, if you go to a pharmacy, right, you go for two basic needs. One is you have a pain, you want the pain to subside, you go to the pharmacy. Or you want to you want to enhance your body performance, you want to enhance your, what do you say, body functioning and all that. So you go for vitamins. So in which case people are more likely to buy it faster, when there is a pain or when they need a vitamin? What do you feel? Pain or vitamin? Please put on the chat. When do people take action faster, when they have a pain or when they need vitamin? Mostly pain, yes. So the people with pain tend to take action faster. So look for people with pain, right? Pain, problems, health conditions, any chronic degenerative health conditions, right? And by the way, Enagic does not say any cure or anything, but we have seen people in the past who have benefited from it and they've been able to recover and live a normal life again, right? So people who had the pain. And the fourth thing is trust. People who have, because I say any high value product, there must be trust in one of these two things. The first thing is the brand. For example, an example of a trust in the brand is companies like Toyota, right? Anywhere in the world, I travel to any country, any branch, any showroom, any salesman, and I want a Toyota car, I know that I'm getting the same quality. Whereas the second part is the introducer, right? Whereas Enagic has been there for the last 45 years now, not many people know about it in our respective countries. So then there has to be more trust in the introducer, in you. If you're the one introducing to your prospects, people, they need to be more trust in you, right? So, and I'll tell you one small experience of mine. So far, all the people who have bought the machine from me, right, directly, they always say this, Hemant, I did not buy the machine because it's a good company or a good product. I bought the machine because I trust you. Now, this makes sense, right? Because any high value product, right, there must be trust. And you know, the easiest way to build trust is to say what you will do and do what you actually said, right? That's the easiest way to build trust. And the second easiest way to build trust in our business is by sharing the water. When I started out first, nobody believed me. I was 22 years old when I started. Nobody could believe a 22-year-old. Think about it. Right. But you know what I used to do? I used to share water, a lot of water, at least 50 cans of water every day to people. And then when the water did what it did to them, they started trusting, they started believing in what I said. Right. So do that, share water. The easiest way to build trust in Enagic is to share water. Right. So if you can do that, start doing it right away. So that's mistake number 8. Let's look at mistake number 9. Now, mistake number 9 is treating this business as a hobby. I have many people, they quit their jobs and they want to do Kangen, or let's say, for example, they no don't have the jobs or they're not in their business. They want to do Kangen business. They take it at their own sweet time and pace, and they do this business as a hobby. And I tell you something, that if you treat this business as a hobby, the business is going to pay you as a hobby as well. Meaning, it only come to you when it feels like coming. Because hobby is something that we don't do it all the time. We do it only when we feel like doing it, like dancing, singing, traveling, driving, whatever it is, right? So when people treat Enagic as a hobby, they only talk to prospects when they want to. They follow up with them when they want to. And by you doing that, the biggest thing is what happens is, um, you set low goals. And when you set low goals, don't expect to take you cannot expect to take huge amount of action, because your subconscious mind is not in synchronicity, right? It's like low goals, you always take low actions, and sometimes you always underestimate the effort required to achieve that low goal. So chances are you may not even achieve the low goal. And let's say you achieve the low goal, doesn't serve your purpose. It doesn't serve your purpose of providing for your family, right? So you might as well set a high goal and not maybe achieve it, but reach somewhere halfway, which is much higher than your low goal. You will be at least be able to provide a better life or a nice lifestyle for your family, right? So that's why we say that, don't treat this as a hobby. Treat this as your own business. Like how Simon said, treat as if you have invested $1 million in this business, right? Think about this, all the infrastructure that Enagic is providing. They don't charge for us. They don't charge us the office rental. We don't have to pay salaries. But think about this. You are the one who are paying the rentals. You are the one who are paying the salaries. Go in that mindset. Will you still be doing it as a hobby? Will you still set a low goal? Will you still, talk only when you like to talk? Or will you be like doing this full time seriously? Even if you're doing it part time, many of you already have your jobs, your business. So you'll only be doing this part time. But um, do justice to that part time. Meaning, when your part time is nothing but not doing it only 3 to 4 hours a day, but doing it every time when you're not doing your job or your business. That is the meaning of a part time, right? And on weekends, you're just doing this fully, right? So that's why we say that the key of this business is in the prospecting. Keep your appointment calendar full. I have many people who are new. I normally get this from people who are new, and also people who are in this business for a quite a long time, like 2 3 years, but they're stagnant, and they always get frustrated. They're demotivated, and they say, "Oh, this business is. I don't think it is right." But I always tell them, "How many presentations have you done? How many people are you meeting on a daily basis?" The numbers are always too low, and I tell them, "Don't judge your results on a low data or a low statistic. Don't judge your efforts on low data, right? Increase your data, increase your number. Then it makes sense for you to judge your results or judge your efforts." So when I started first, my appointment calendar was more than full. It was occupied fully. I used to start my day at 7 a.m. and at 12 noon. I mean, not 12 noon, 12 midnight, right? The whole day. And constantly I did that for many months. And in my first month, how many people I exposed the product and opportunity to? Almost more than 600 people. Not everybody joined, but then I kept my appointment calendar full. I exposed it to as many people, and then I had about 10 sales. Now, then I know, okay, for me to get one sale, I have to talk to 60 people. So then all I did was I just was talking to 60 more people before I could get one sale. Don't get emotionally attached. Because when you get emotionally attached, then what happens is we slow down, we start analyzing, we start doubting, and all that. This business works completely as a numbers game. The more people you expose, the more people you fill into this uh, funnel, the more results you'll get out, right? So keep putting prospects every day. Even after 2 3 years, right? They say a month is very slow. I ask them, how many people are you talking to? Literally every time when I'm not doing anything, I'm on phones, I'm prospecting, I'm meeting people, I'm following up with them. Now, why do I do that? It's not because I want to make money. It's because I have a power in my hand that possibly if that person understands who I am talking to can change their life. And I know that because I've gone through that. Right now I'm stuck here. I won't say I'm stuck, but I'm here in Dubai, right? No flights to return back to India. But I'm happy. I'm not complaining. But look at this. I have to pay for my hotels and all that, right? It's pretty expensive. You're not cheap. Like if you know, Dubai is not cheap, right? So I'm still here. Why? Because the way I was one person 5 years back, I could not even pay, I could not take a hotel. Wherever I travel, I look for friends who I can stay with. But now I'm able to like afford the lifestyle here, right? So apart from that, I can give back to many people. My family, my parents are financially free. So I know that. That's why I am talking to them, right? When I follow up, or when the whole reason for you to follow up with them is to set up an appointment where they get more value. And the more value you give to them, it becomes easier for them to join. But for you to start off with, keep your appointment calendar full. When I say full, not just doing demos, but also after demos, the follow up, because the next point, which I'll talk about, is about the follow up. But this point, mistake number 9, is to fill your calendar. Keep your calendar full, right? Even if there is one day, like people ask me, what do you do on weekends? There was literally 4 days of Eid holiday here. They ask, what are you doing for Eid? Where are you going? I say, no. And the 4 days, I had meetings day after day. Every day I had meetings, right? And I'm so happy when I do that. You know why? Because more than me relaxing and enjoying, I get the satisfaction that I introduce to someone and they take it up, their lives can change. That gives me more joy and fulfillment than going and celebrating or, yes, celebrations are important, but I'm not saying that, but keep your calendar full, right? If you have a chance to like just go on and share with people. And I love this business because it is like, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like, yesterday I was with one of our team members, and we just went out for dinner, but then during the conversation he was about to give up, or he was not give up, he was frustrated, so he was about to how do I say, uh, lose belief in the business and all that. But after our meeting, you know what he said, right? He wants to become a dash three. There's a rank called dash three. He wants to become a dash three, and he got the clarity. So now he's fully fired up, right? So think about this. Imagine if I decided to not meet him, or if I decided to be somewhere else, I couldn't have facilitated that thing, right? So that's why fill your calendar, because you never know. This is what Mr. Sam Sia says. Sam Sia, although he's made a lot of money in this business, a very well established person, I told him, Sam, you already made so much money, but why you're still working? Why you're still keeping your calendar full? You know what he said? He said that, Hemant, it's not because I want to make more money. It is because I know that I have a power in my hand that can change many people's lives. I caught on to it, and I still today I still hold on to that same thing. Right? So that's why I'm sharing this with you. And Mr. Sam, you have been people who are, let's say, sportsmen, right? People who are athletes. Are there many new athletes entrants every time? Every time there's a competition, there are still new people who are equally trained and they come. But why do you see that the same person wins the gold medal all the time? Like, for example, Roger Federer, or what's the other name? Rafael Nadal, or the other guy, I forgot the name. All these guys, they always win although there's such a tough competition. Like in running, Usain Bolt is always like winning gold medals over gold medal, right? Although there's so many people out there. Why? Because, and we call them champions. So you must understand the importance of having a champion mindset. A champion mindset is someone who sees the possibility, not the risk, or not the challenges, the possibility, the rewards, right? So uh, think about this. You are looking at the next essential appliance in every single home, and we are not in every single home yet. In fact, we're not even in 1% of the homes yet. So look at the big picture, right? Having the champion mindset. So I want to share with you this chart, this graph, which is by Everett Rogers. It's called Law of Innovation Diffusion. What it means is that people who take the action first, these guys set the trend for the wave to happen, and whoever joins later, right, basically emulates or follows the initial innovators, right? So can I ask you all a question? Where on the chart or where on the graph are we as Enagic in your respective markets? Which category we are in? And what it means, let me share with you. The blue line is the number of sales, and the gold line is the market penetration. So where do we stand in Enagic? Are we in laggards, late majority, early majority, early adopters, or innovators? Where do we stand? Please put on the chat, because only when you participate, I know what you're thinking. Okay, innovators, 2.5% innovators. Most of you all are saying innovators here, right? Let me tell you guys something. Because I gave you the answer already, so it's easy for many people to say innovators, but actually not innovators, much less than innovators. Because any market you take, let's say you take UAE. The population of UAE is about 10 million. 10 million is the population of UAE, and we've sold about 5,000 units here so far. And let's say the affordable population of UAE is only 1% of 10 million. 1% of 10 million is 100,000, right? Affordable population, meaning only 100,000 families can buy the machine, right? And we have sold about 5,000 only. That's 10% is 10,000. 1% is 1,000. So we are roughly about less than 5% in the UAE. 5% of the 1%. But the number of people who are buying the machines out of the 5,000 or more than 5,000, the families who are owning the Kangen machine, 90% of them, they don't have the money. They arrange the money and they buy it. Meaning they're coming from the remaining 99% of the population, which I did not include. So if I take the 100% of population, we are not even at 0.005% market penetration so far. And can I tell you guys something? That what you guys start today, what you guys set will become the trend for the future. And there will be a time when Enagic UAE, Enagic, I'll come back to India later, but Enagic UAE will be selling thousands of machines every month. Now, what you said today will become the trend for the future. Your future followers will be a result of what you today, right? And you guys are the innovators. So think about the thing that you are. You're not even like you're the pioneers, right? And that's why, although we have sold so many machines, right? Anybody can overtake anyone. Like you can all overtake me, and I'm so happy when someone does that in my team or in our teams, right? Because I know that this business is possible. Just to give you a simple example, right? I'm on live, but I can share this. It's safe to share that Mr. Samsia has been in this business for last 9 years. There is uplines who are sharing with uplines, like Mr. Romy, where there are Cynthia Briganti, JV Pacifico, all Mr. Samsia's upline. They've been in this business for many years, at least 15 to 16 years. They've been in this business. But Mr. Samsia, in less than 9 years, is sharing the same rank as all his uplines. And chances are he could even rank higher than them in the coming near future. So that means that all of you guys who are looking at it today, you can overtake or you can rank higher than any of us who have achieved, and that nothing stops you from doing that. And if you understand this, that you're not even innovators, right? You would take action not today, but you should have taken action yesterday itself, right? So this is the thing. So I just want to share the lesson from here is to have a champion mindset and see the big picture. A champion doesn't take a challenge as a negative thing. A champion takes the challenge as a positive thing that drives him to even do better, even be better, right? And see the big picture. We've not even penetrated 1% of the total market population. In India, we've sold about 50,000 units, right? And that's not even 1% of the homes that we could be in. So think about the huge potential. And in India, we did tell people that India will be selling a few thousand machines. And now that's happened. Last month, it was 3,000 plus machines, what India did, right? And it's growing on a monthly basis. So of course the population is big, but what that still compared to the population is even 1%. So every single person, if you're looking at from India, Malaysia, UAE, anywhere else in the world, I also saw potential in the US. Although the company's been around 15 years in the US, it's still, you can go there and build the market and make it big, right? Because we have the champion mindset, and champions are people who make things happen, not complain or not wait for things to be given to them. They make things happen, right? So this is mistake number 10. Mistake number 11 is being passive, not following up on prospects, right? Taking it at your own time. Because when you do that, what happens is your prospects forget about you and the Kangen machine. Worst case, they forget about you, but they remember the Kangen machine. So when somebody else is talking about Kangen machine and they see about it, they say, I don't even remember who was the guy who told me about it. I'd buy from you, because they can't remember, right? It's not there. Why they can't remember? Because I say out of sight is out of mind. When you stop following up on prospects, when you start checking up on them, when you stop meeting them, they forget about you. It's natural. I mean, I've forgotten about so many car salesmen that stop following up with me, right? I can't even remember. So what I do, I go to the showroom, I see who is the guy there, and okay, I made up my mind. I buy it from him. So the guy who meets me there makes his cut. But had the guy who spoke to me initially, if he had followed up with me, chances are he would have gotten me, right? So the important thing is to be proactive. And I know one guy like this who's still following up with me for a car that I want to buy. last 2 years, he's still been following up with me, right? And I know that when I go buy the car, I'm going to be buying it. I'm going to be telling him that, I'm interested in getting the car, right? So because he's proactive, right? Because 70% of sales happens in the follow up. Uh, and they say the fortune is in the follow up. So don't expect to close all your sales on the spot. Some people need time, right? Some people need to understand, need to receive it. So we'll allow them to receive it, but just make sure that you're in touch with them. You're constantly exposing them to different material. And some people can buy after 1 month, 1 year. Some people, I have friends who have bought from me after 4 years, right? So nothing wrong with that. So and I just recently, like a few days back, I had a classmate of mine who studied with me in the same university, in the same college, and I have not spoken to him in the last 8 years. 8 years I've not spoken to him at all. And but he's my friends on Facebook, so he keeps seeing me posting on Kangen, Enagic, and all that. And his uncle wanted to buy the machine, and he contacted me. Hemant, I need your help. My uncle is looking at getting this machine. Can you help me? I said, of course, right? And I didn't even speak to him. Look at this, right? So that way, social media is a great platform where you can build up with your existing contacts, where they see, because people want to do business with people who are serious, not with people who take it easy and take it like, think about this. If you give up or if you stop following up on your prospect, they will also think that you will stop following up. They will not want to do business with you because you're not serious, right? People want to do business with who they're serious, because then they see that, okay, I can work with someone and I can be successful with that person, right? Because that person is serious. But if you don't follow up, nobody is interested in joining a person who's not serious, who doesn't follow up, right? So the key here is to follow up 7 times or more, right? Not just stop at 7 times because Hemant said 7 times, so you stop at 7 times. Follow up 7 times or more, right? That's a lesson from here. Let's look at mistake number 12. Not helping your team members. When you start off first, right? Let's say you are even a new distributor, right? You have someone joining you. Make sure that you are with them. Make sure you train them, you support them. Don't say that you're also new, so you need to ask your upline, because maybe your upline is busy, but you support them. And at the same time, let's say you are someone already a distributor, you have team members under you, new team members. Don't just recruit them and forget about them. Train them. What do you say? I mean, help your new team members, rescue and guide them. Be there for the first few demos. Show them, teach them the culture of Enagic, teach them the ethics and basics, the policies, procedures, and all of those things. Because why? Team success equals to my success, meaning team success equals to your success. For example, right? In if you I mean, if you've been involved in other companies or you know about other companies, normally the other companies, how they operate is they keep telling you, keep buying the products, and one day you will be successful. The reason why they say that is because they make money only when you buy the products. If you stop buying products, they stop making money, the uplines. But in Enagic, we don't say that. We only buy the machine once. We don't come and say, this month you bought a K8, next month you buy an ST501. The following month you buy an NSPA. We don't say that. But instead, what we say is, how many people do you know that we can help? We can introduce the opportunity to, we can introduce the product to. Because my success is directly proportional to the amount of success you achieve or you guys achieve. And the same way, your success is dependent on how successful your team becomes, right? No matter how deep they are, how far away they are from you, right? Be willing to support them, right? And these are the trainings. Like, you see these meetings, I'm so excited because we conduct these kind of meetings. In spite of Simon, right, is being his birthday, he's doing his session, right? Normally, people birthday, they are going out, they're enjoying with their family because they want to celebrate, but they're here. You know why? Because he knows that team success equals to his success. The same way, team success equals to my success, right? Or you should say this to yourself: team success equals to my success. Make your team members successful, so out of their success you become successful, not out of their money, right? You only make money from your team members once, but you continue to make money when they make money from their sales. That's mistake number 12. Let's look at mistake number 13. Continuous reliance on sponsors and public presentations. just now I was telling, it's a bit, this point for some people looks contradicting, because I was just telling that help your new team members, rescue them, guide them. But now I'm saying don't depend or don't continuously be what you say, depend, rely on your sponsors or public presentations. Now, why do we say that is because your sponsor or your upline has a lot of things to do, right? It's not just like let's say for example, if I have 10 people in my team, I'll have to equally focus on all the 10 people. So I may not have 24 hours just for one person. I may divide my time to support everyone equally. Now, when I do that, what happens is, let's say my team member is depending on only 10% of my time or my potential. That means their business can only grow up to the extent that I am available. If I'm not available, their business is not growing, which is very bad, because you can excel much more with 100% of your time, your potential, than depending on just 10% of my time, right? So that's why this limits the potential of your business. So take responsibility and ownership in your success. Treat this as your own business. Step up and challenge yourself. It's going to be challenging. I'm not going to say it's a very easy ride. It's very challenging, but it's just like any other work or any other business. They're all challenges. But if you focus on the challenges, you'll forget the destination. My intention or my thing to you is focus on the destination, focus where you want to reach. Then these challenges and obstacles will look very small, right? And if you want more results, take more action. The only way for you to get out of your negative thinking or your demotivated state is all that is for you to take action. When you take action, the more action you take, the more results you derive. And the thing from here is to take personal ownership. Take personal ownership in your success, in your team success. Take personal ownership, right? Now, don't treat this as it's Hemanth's business, so it's Hemanth's responsibility to give me all these things. No, no. To be really honest, Mr. Samsia and Mingwei, were in my initial days, I was the one doing. My first demo, I was the one who did it, right? They were not there in my demos, but I'm so thankful for them that they introduced me this opportunity, and I took personal ownership from day one. I was the one doing demos and all that, because when you start doing that, your team members also see you as an authority, and they trust you, and they also step up. And but if you are always looking for your appliance support, your team members will also be doing the same thing. So it's like you're deteriorating your own team's effort or team success. So take personal ownership, be an example, lead by example, right? All these sessions, I could be waiting for Mr. Sam to conduct these sessions. But if I'm waiting, then I'll be waiting for a long time. I'd rather take this up and share with you. And I believe in this, 1%, giving 1% is better than giving nothing. So if you feel that I need to wait for my upline for me to get started, I need to wait for someone, I feel handicapped or something like that, think about this. If you know even little bit, you know more than the customer. It's enough value for them to join, right? So take personal ownership. So that's point number 13. Let's look at point number 14, not learning the compensation plan, right? You see, although the business plan is attractive and the compensation plan is very attractive, if you are not able to communicate the value of the business plan or the compensation plan, or you don't show the compensation plan, your business will be only growing to the limits of how you perform. But if you want exponential growth, I always say that your team has more potential than you. So understand the 8A commission, educational bonus, 6A2 bonus, the four categories protocol. Understand these things. And your team grows to the extent that they see that they can also be successful. If you just stop at 8A commissions, they miss out on getting all these value, right? So the lesson from here is to master the global partnership program. Master the global partnership program, not just learn it, understand it, master it. And nobody achieves mastery the first time. You cannot become a master from the first time. A pilot was not a master from the first hour he started flying. He had to go to 10,000 hours of flying before he can become a master. So the same way, for you to be considered a master, many people tell me, Hemant, I wish I was like you. Sorry, I don't think I can be like you, what you're doing today. But I tell people that you don't have to be who I am today. You have to be who I was 4 years back when I started. Every master was once a beginner. I want to just put it another way. Every master was once a disaster. We all make mistakes, but if we don't make mistakes, right, we cannot become a master, right? But the best way here is, when you are uh, when you're communicating the value, even you make mistakes, people don't count the mistakes, because they know that if you're genuine and sincere, they understand. They understand your intentions, right? So to master the global partnership program, you have to begin. So start off with your prospects. So how I started initially was, I used to tell my friends and family that, I've started a business and I need a lot of practicing time. So can you come and sit with me so that I can practice? And I used to do the demo and the business plan to them, right? And no obligation, nothing. But many of them who saw it at that time when I was practicing, supposedly practicing, they said, "How can I be a part of this? How can I join this?" Right? So mistake number 14 is to master the global partnership program. And mistake number 15 is very, very important: getting distracted by other come and go opportunities. Would you all agree with me that there are thousand or even like thousands of ways to make money in this business? Thousands of ways to make money in this business, right? Not in this business, in this world. Thousands of ways to make money in this world, right? So chances are, when you're in Enagic, you get exposed to another opportunity, you jump into it. And then that's also not good. You jump into another one, you jump into another one, and you jump into another one. But then you didn't join Enagic to jump into another business, right? You joined Enagic because you felt that I want to be in this business, I want to be make it successful. But when you decide to go into another opportunity, and when you decide to do that, what you're doing is you're discrediting your past self. You're discrediting your past self, which took the decision of doing Enagic. And the more you do this, the more you keep changing, or more you get distracted by other opportunities, the more you discredit your past self, and then your present self stops taking any action. It starts fearing every time you want to take an action. And the second thing is, when you do that, your people who you would have spoken to about Enagic will lose trust and credibility in you. They will stop trusting you, because they know that today you're in one company, tomorrow you're in another company, another opportunity. They don't trust you. And like I told you, do everything in this business that will build trust and credibility within your network and within your team members, right? So this is the easiest way to lose trust when you are getting distracted. So the lesson from here is to understand that this is a long-term business. It's not a short-term business. And understand that you have to cultivate a sense of gratitude and enthusiasm every day. Every day morning I wake up even before my alarm rings, because I'm so excited, I'm so enthusiastic, that I want to share. I'm so thankful that how my life changed, and I see people who are struggling. I know that I can go help them and change their lives. So cultivate that sense of gratitude and enthusiasm. Aim to build your Kangen empire, right? Why I say aim to build your Kangen empire, I don't say aim to build your Kangen team or Kangen organization, because these are all short term. Empires takes decades to build. Empires takes generations to build, right? So think about this. This is a business where you can build, and which will feed for many, many more generations. Like, for example, I was telling this my one of our team members yesterday, that even if I stop doing the business now, even if I say stop, the sales are not stopping. It's going on every month. In fact, these 3 months of COVID, where we recorded the highest sales ever, especially ever in the history of Enagic, these are the highest sales ever. And our sales just doubled and tripled over these 3 months. When the market is contracting, the market is shrinking, our business is expanding, right? So if you want to keep growing, the whole idea is basically to treat this as a long-term business. And when I say long-term business, not just a 3 to 5 year business plan. Think about this business, or let me share with you what long-term means for Japanese. Or before that, let me share what long-term means for American, because I worked in an American corporation. They used to always tell me, "What's your long-term goal?" I asked them, "What is long-term?" They say 3 to 5 years plan. So they always make this short, long-term plan, which is like 3 to 5 years. How do you see yourself in the next 5 years? That's the long-term that they can think about. But Japanese, long-term for Japanese is 5 generations, not 5 years, 5 generations. Meaning, they whatever they do today, they think in ahead of. They want it to last for 5 generations. Meaning, they think in ahead of 5 generations. Like myself, my children, my great grandchildren, my great great grandchildren, and so on. Like 5 generations from me, right? And I believe that this business, 300 years, 400 years from now, we will have people talking about this. I want to cast this vision onto you, right? Think about yourself, right? 100 years from now, 200 years from now, your family members thanking you for starting this business. Think about this. How would you feel? How would it feel for you? And I want to go a bit more deeper. Think about this. What would be your great great grandchildren of your team members talking about you? Think about that, right? It's not just what your great great grandchildren are talking about you, but what the great great grandchildren of your team members are talking about you, right? This is a true business where we can create that legacy, right? So that's why I say that focus, 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 and think long term, not short term, long term. And people tell me, Hemant, is this the business that you want to do all your life? I say, yes, why not? And they say, so you're putting all your eggs in one basket. I say, not really, right? From the money that I earn, I've invested in a few properties. I have investments that I've invested in, financial investments, a lot of these things. So I diversify, but my main source of income is from here, right? And it's not just all my eggs in one basket. Every single team member I introduce, every single prospect I introduce to Kangen, I'm diversifying, I'm expanding my network, right? And every single market, every single city, every single country I open up, it is diversifying my network. And that's the biggest asset that we can get from this, is the different people from different walks of life, the huge network. I've come across people from the highs of the highs to the lows of the lows, and it gives me so much joy that when this vehicle, this platform is helping them in their way, in whatever ways they want to be achieved or successful. So think about this. It's a very long term business, and I have people in the industry, in the network marketing industry, who have been doing for the last 15-20 years, and they've done like several companies, like easily 20 to 30 companies. And they say for the first time that we found the right company with the right vision, and it's so long term. It's so long term that our CEO, Mr. Oshiro, has patented our business plan, so nobody else can copy it, and it took him 10 years to get it patented, right? So we are the only company in the industry which has a patented compensation program, a patented program basically, right? So you can see that you're working with a company that's unique. And when you do this properly, I mean, this not just can feed for your generation, but for many generations in the future. And with that, I've come to the end of 15 mistakes to avoid. I know we've gone a bit overboard, right? But I hope I was able to give you guys more clarity and value. If I did, please put it on the chat and say clarity. If I gave you more clarity and value from today's session. Thank you so much. So for a lot of you all who are watching us today and also on YouTube, right? You guys can go back and refer on the same link. If you want to recap, we have the YouTube link. You can go and refer at your own pace. And I just want to share this vision with you, that whatever you've learned today about the product and the business, about the mistakes to avoid, right? Start applying them right now, because there is one thing where you get the information, but it's a completely different thing when you apply it, right? So start applying it, make those mistakes, or I mean, avoid those mistakes, make those first steps, learn from those steps. Don't wait, because if you're waiting, and I'll tell you, adding time to make a decision won't make you more confident. It'll only make you procrastinate and make you doubt more. So so the only way you can be more motivated, the only way you can be more confident about anything, is by taking action, by doing it, is how you can get more confident about it. So if you want to be more confident about this, like literally my confidence levels shot up the moment I started taking action. And if you don't believe in it yet, it's okay. You can believe in the other person's belief of the opportunity of the product and all that, until your belief kicks in. When I started, I believed in Mr. Sam's belief that this works, and I worked until my actual belief came in. And when that comes in, it's even more powerful. But until that, right, people, all the successful people, they know that time is money. The greatest asset they have is time, right? So don't waste time. Don't waste time in making a decision. People have done the research. We have done the studies. We are proof in front of you that if we can do it, anybody can do it. Like Simon, in his age, Simon was 19 years when he got the machine, right? 6 years back. Right? I was 22 when I got the machine. If we can get the machine, if we can do the business, anybody here can do it, right? So that's proof that we can, that we all can be successful. And I wish you all the best. And so what we're going to do is, for the following week on the Saturday, we're going to be having our Kangen opportunity talk, which will be about the demo and the business plan, so that you can bring in all your uh, new prospects, and also those people who are joining us this week. You can start bringing in your prospects and have them experience the demo and the business plan. And with that, you can also learn, and you can also start doing it with your prospects, right? So we'll share the details with you. And if you guys are new joining us for the first time, right, you please get in touch with the person who invited you here today, and ask them for the links and the training materials. And we can't wait to see you guys on board, and to see how, to hear your stories of how your life changed after starting this program, right? So with that, thank you so much, and look forward for taking action. And I just want to end with this quote, that the distance between your dreams and reality is called action, right? So if you're ready to take action, start from today. And I'll see you all on the next meeting, which is the following week, same time, with the Kangen opportunity talk. See you all there.